Please get rid. Oh my God! Oh my days! You fucking piece of shit! Oh my fucking Lord! You're taking the piss, mate! You are taking the absolute piss, bro! You are taking the absolute piss, bro! You can take the... Oh my days! I could fucking see it! You're fucking kidding me! Oh my fucking days, blood. Fucking, you're kidding me. Buendia, a man that was linked with Arsenal, has sunk, man, in the 94th fucking minute. Oh my fucking Lord. Blood.
Brother, we're 3 points ahead of Aston Villa.
Bro, look at this. Look at that. From it there, I said, Jesus Christ. I could see it. Look at them fucking clowns. Look at them panicking like a fucking bunch of fucking cow. Look at them panicking. Look at them. No composure. No composure. Where's the fucking composure in the back line? Look at you lot.
What's the fucking ball out?
What is this? Now they've won it.
Fucking wanker, you fucking dickhead. La Mohamed Rasulullah Wusulullah min ash-shaytanir rajim. We blowed it. Fuck off.
Matty, Olaf, that's nothing more than nothing short of what we deserve. We deserve to get beaten today. Fuck them, man. Fuck them. Absolute clowns.
Fucking pricks, man. Fucking dickhead.
Absolute state of that
first
defending.
5 minutes into the game, you fucking knew it, bruv. You can tell,
bro. From the first 5 minutes
into the fucking game.
You're right.
Every fucking time, man. Fucking Emery. Fuck's sake, man.
Do you know what's even more mad? Yeah, we were going to sign this geezer, wouldn't we? And our fans had their pants around their ankles for him. Look how dank and dirty that is in fucking Birmingham blood.
Fucking Martin Keown has the audacity to give Odegaard a fucking man of the match.
He's still playing the game now.
He's going to have to change his mind and give it to him now because he's won the game.
Revise that fucking pick. He's going to have to revise that shit.
Look at the state of this defending. Look at it.
Look at Zubimendi.
Standing blocking the keeper. Look at the state of this defending.
Look at Zubimendi.
Look at this.
Now you go out there to defend him.
Fucking dickheads, man.
Look at the state. Zubimendi's face plant in the floor, by the way, when that goes in. Watch Zubimendi. Watch. Look. He died. Oh, you pussy. You absolute bitch. Did you just see that? Look.
I told y'all.
Look at our captain as well. Look at Rice. Look. Get the fuck out of here, man. This club. Fuck off.
There he is.
Every fucking season, bro. Every fucking year,
They deserve to win. Let's just be real.
Every year, bro. Fucking dickheads.
Absolute wasters. Wasters. Got everything we deserve today. Absolutely disgusting performance.
Yep.
We knew from 5 minutes in, lads. We all knew. We was like, we ain't getting nothing here.
Fucking, that's my whole weekend tanked. I said
mate, they're 3 points behind us, Ola. What phase is he in?
Bro, they're in title race, bro.
I'm tweeting.
Top of the table. You know what, Alexa? Play me an Arsenal Christmas song.
Here's a song for Arsenal fans this Christmas.
Oh, I like it already.
Arsenal top by Christmas.
Yep.
Fans start to boast.
Well.
But by April, it's like a disappearing ghost.
Hey?
Haven't won a thing since Arteta came. Your trophy cabinet's looking pretty lame. Always top then trip. It's the same old scene like Netflix new season. Same old.
No, Alexa, stop this.
Take that bottle in your hand and cry all night. 'Cause Arsenal don't win anything.
Alexa, shut up!
Nice dancing, Jay. Happy Monday, people. Welcome back to Never a Foul. Hope everyone's having a good day. We are joined by VD, who's got a lot to say. Got a lot to answer for, probably from most fan bases about a certain forward called Delap. He's got a script ready.
I'm prepared.
Actually, Jay, do you want to be on the top row?
I would love that. Thank you very much. You know, I believe the winners should be at the top.
Do you know what? Right. So winners. All right. So in that case,
obviously,
do you know what?
didn't lose,
I feel like
so he can.
Cal
be with
didn't
us as well,
lose,
you
but
know?
neither
we
did
think Cal, big up
VD.
Cal.
But I feel like Cal needs to be next to his friend. So you know, I feel that.
Hey,
right.
I tried for you.
No,
bro.
I appreciate you, Jay. I appreciate it. As I said, you know what? Just like Salah said the other day, communication is completely broken down between myself and Never a Foul.
Oh, hold on. You said you were waiting till one more chance.
Nah,
no chances. That's it now.
I'm in the media scrum now. I'm gonna let rip, bro.
Please continue. Please continue, Mr. Salah.
The communication between myself and Never a Foul is unfortunately broken down. I was made promises that haven't been kept. I asked for things to happen, they didn't happen, and I'm streaming with someone on the stream who has repeatedly threatened my physical existence, has contributed to a mental breakdown football wise, and continually I'm put in a situation to have to work with said person. I'm not going to mention said person's name, but I think we all know who said person is. I was manipulated and lied to in the summer by said person. I have factual evidence to prove it as well. And but here we are. I'll do my best to continue to do my role for Never.
You know what? It's interesting because I'm sure we'll get into that, but we should also get into certain agendas that people have on their platforms. But we'll get into that as well because I've got questions, and people aren't going to like me today. But you know, I feel there's questions to be asked to certain Liverpool fan bases. So
hold on, you're talking like you got.
Sorry, Jay. Daps.
You're talking like you got 3 points this week.
I was going to say,
I think you need to dial it back.
If I'm not mistaken, Daps, on Never a Foul, when a team loses, I'm pretty sure the representative of that team doesn't speak until spoken to.
No. When we're talking about my club, when we're talking about my club, then that will happen. Until that happens, then we can all divulge and get involved in certain conversations until said conversation needs to be apparent.
Good way to segue, Lee. Let's talk about Arsenal.
No problem.
Cal,
no problem. By the way, let me know when I can speak. I don't want to bend the rules here. So let me know when is it my time to speak or?
Well, I mean, guys, do you want to go first or do you want?
I kind of want to ask him a question. I want to ask him a question, because I've asked all my Arsenal friends this year, and I feel like Lee's going to give me a very interesting answer. But we've seen this story before. You know what I'm saying? We've read this chapter of this book before. Is it over, bro? Is it done? From an Arsenal fan's perspective, is I know you felt that 94th minute dagger in your chest, didn't it? Is it over, bro? Is it over?
No time to lose your heads. It's one loss in 17. It's fine, no problem.
One loss in 17, 2 points from 9 away from home.
Mr. Liverpool, sorry, Guna Lee. Given the
don't worry, you're going to get your comeuppance. Don't worry.
I always do. Plus, I didn't see you in the chat the other day. Has everything been okay? First and foremost, how's everything going?
I'm more than good. Ask your question, man.
I just wondered because I always see you in the chat recently. I didn't see you on Saturday, so I was making sure you're good. My brother and all that. So given Arsenal's history with Arteta around the January and December period, you know, when the results don't usually go their way. And, you know, I remember Cecil not too long ago having that jumper with the league table on.
It was a Christmas, I think.
It was a t-shirt, by the way. It was a t-shirt.
It was a t-shirt. Okay, cool. Upper body garment. Given that happened and we saw what happened that season and we saw what happened in other seasons, are you at all worried that there could potentially have a situation where history is repeating itself?
Do you want me to answer, sorry, or
please answer?
No, I'm sorry, Jace. What did you say?
No. I want to know as well. Actually.
I said, no, because the person or the people that are sort of in this title race, said teams aren't the same team that they were a few seasons ago. There are certain teams that are conceding 4 goals against Fulham. Now, for me, I won't look at that and say that they are the
sort of scary sharks that they were a few seasons ago. That doesn't discredit what they're doing, and all conquering striker that they have. I'm not sitting here saying that they're going to go
closer to you than previous seasons in title races.
So am I allowed? Am I finishing or?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you want me? Do you want to? Because I don't want to bend the rules. I don't want to bend the rules.
Different to previous weeks.
I don't want to bend the rules.
Definitely previous to different weeks. No, please continue. Please. Why does it keep changing?
Just
I'm not
let me know.
this.
Just because I obviously I haven't been on this show when we lose, so I want to know.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
So I want to know
explains why you're acting. It does explain why you're acting a bit different to when you win.
But
please.
Just tell me. Am I allowed to speak? Am I allowed to
please.
speak?
Please continually. Please continually.
Right. So as I said, I'm not too worried currently because I think there's a key word there that nobody wants to use right now. When you're playing with two centre backs that are brand new, it's very difficult playing out from the back. Now, I remember a lot of excuses from last season that a certain panelist who's in the middle kept saying that because a certain Walker wasn't the same person he was last season, that made a massive difference to the defense, hence why you conceded X amount of goals.
But Walker went in January.
Okay, again, I don't know if I'm allowed to be interrupted or not, but again, I just want to
just make it very. But if you're going to do that every time I respond,
but I just want to finish my sentence. That's all. All I'm saying is I'm not worried. If you're asking me if I'm worried, I'm very calm because the context is we've got two all-worldly conquering centre-backs that would normally play, and if they're both out, I can understand one, no problem. But two, it's going to be a big problem. Should we have lost the game? No, but am I worried? Nah, because I don't believe in the other teams that are chasing us that are going to be the all-conquering teams that they were last time. That's just my opinion. Does that discredit them? No.
I've got a question.
I mean, it does a bit, to be fair.
In the grand scheme of the game, do you believe that you deserve to walk away with a point from that game?
If you look on the context of the chances, I think a draw would have been a fair result. Now, do I think one team shaded another? Yes, I believe Aston Villa shaded. But do I think a fair result could have been a draw? Because I think the Odegaard chance, he had two chances. Declan Rice, Saka had a few kind of half chances. I think Gyökeres was terrible. And again, I'm happy to talk about that as a... Do I keep moving, by the way?
Yeah, bro, and I'm not doing it. I'm not touching the thing. It's mad.
So do I think that's a conversation? 100%, because I think a lot of Arsenal fans spoke quite highly of we need a killer, and it was Gyökeres who was nominated. I think that's something we can talk about. But if you're asking me to be very honest about the context of where we are, and we're still top of the league. And as I said, I just don't believe that Man City are going to be able to do it. That's it.
See, I kind of just on that, Lee. I hear you on that because the two things I've taken, I've taken one thing from this weekend, but not just this weekend, a few weekends now, and that is that we know, that this Arsenal team away from home are going to drop more points this season. Yeah, we know that now. And if I'm a City fan, I know that. Yeah. What I don't know yet, and I do agree with Lee, is I don't know if this is the same City squad as previously, right? Now, if we're talking most recently, this weekend, yes, we took advantage of Arsenal dropping points and got 3 points. And right now, we're sitting in a very nice position, a nicer position than we have most seasons when we've been in title races, that in December, we're only 2 points behind Arsenal, right?
I know I'm not allowed to
interrupt
you.
I do agree with Lee. No, you can interrupt, bro.
Can I just say one point? Can I just say one point? Because everybody's going to keep, and again, it's all very nice because we're in the moment right now. But I just want to make it clear that Arsenal have 14 points away from home, and Man City have, I believe, 10 or 11 points away from home.
Yeah.
So this whole rhetoric about away from home, can we again? Nobody wants to do it because and I'm going to hold the band off because that's what we're going to do. But it's the hair come lately. It was Sunderland, who, for all intents and purposes, is a very difficult game, and we drew in the last minute. Chelsea, that was the massive result that I think was a bigger shocker that people don't talk about. And again, Aston Villa, fine, okay, fine, but let's not go crazy and act like we are the worst team ever.
It's all the whole thing is if it's coming. Pep said it himself, and look, Pep is a guy. I think at the weekend he said, "Look, I don't want to be arrogant, but I've seen a lot of title races, and for me, starting is how you start and through till December is great, but your team improving, the team that improves throughout the season from August to May usually wins it, right? And I agree with you, Leeds. So far this season, there's a reason you're 2 points above us, because so far this season, you've been better than us, right? You are there, bro. You're on phase 7. We're a team that is currently rebuilding. And that's why I said, I don't know if this is a City squad that get it over the line or not. Yeah, we don't know that. That's an unknown quantity. And I agree with you with that, yeah? But what I would say is that this is a City team that are getting better, right? And this is an Arsenal team that, you know, overall across the season, you've got a better away form than us. However, in your last 3 games away from home, you picked up 2 points. That is a fact. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, there's always a famous quote. Recency bias is a killer.
Yeah,
You're only saying this because in the last week and a half, this has been what has happened. Now, again, do I give context to the fact that if you're missing both your centre backs, who let's just admit that they could be in the top 5, both of them, you're not missing one, you're missing both of them. I think that makes a massive difference.
That's
I want to make.
Hold on,
I want to make an excuse. I want to make it. I'm sorry. Just what I want.
You're going to say excuse then?
No. I was going to say that is not an excuse. I wouldn't say that. That is not an excuse.
Why have you mentioned it twice? Then
because it's context. Because context.
You said you've got the best squad in the league, though. Lee.
No,
this is it.
But hold on. Again.
Anyone in there, it'll be fine.
I'm going to give you Lee. I'm going to give you credit here. I'll sit here on this hill and I'll say Arsenal have got the best defense in Europe as a collective. So by that metric, injuries, in my opinion, should have been an excuse, because all I kept on hearing is if Saliba and Gabriel are out, we're still calm because we've got Hincapié.
Hey, listen, your backup centre backs are better than my Bar Fofana. Your backup centre backs are better than my centre.
And again, I think VD that was what I was going to say. I think the only nitpicking, because I think we have to be very careful how we kind of really judge Arteta in this season, because everyone's going to dump on him and say that, but let's just give it a fact. Everybody's been giving him a lot of praise this season, so let's nitpick on that game. And that game, I think he put the players in the wrong position. I think Hincapié should have been a left back, Calafiori should have been a centre back, Ben White should have been a centre back, because he can't get up and down as much.
I've heard a few people saying that.
And then put Timber in his position that he's played all season. That's the issue that I've had. That's number. Last season we played Ben White. We played Ben White in centre back against Liverpool, and he got the opening goal. He got the opening assist for Saka. Long ball over the top, and then Saka kind of ripped out Andy Robertson through the legs, scored a great goal. For me, I think that was the bigger problem. Now, again, you can talk about all the injuries and all that. I'm not talking. I'm just giving context of there's such a gaping hole in the middle of our team, and it does change the way we play.
So would it be fair to say your squad isn't really excuse me? Would it be fair to say then, if you don't win this Premier League, it's not on your squad, but it's 100% on your manager? Because this is the most complete Arsenal team I've seen in my lifetime. In my life, being alive. I'm a Tottenham fan. I fucking hate you lot. And I'm being unbiased here and saying this is the most complete. They've got 2 or 3 players in every position. They're comfortable right now. So if you don't win this Premier League, surely at that point it's on your manager.
What was the gap? I swear you know, we're like 9 points clear.
You need to. No, we've never been 9 points clear again.
They could have gone 9 if they beat you. If they beat you, they didn't beat you.
Again, this is what happens 2 seasons ago.
There was 7 points.
People kept saying that we were 7 points clear. We weren't 7 points clear 2 seasons ago because they had 2 games in hand, Man City, so we weren't. But anyway,
but you were 7. You were 7 this season, right?
You still have we were 7 this season. Now again, let's just look at it with the context that it deserves. Again, I'm not bringing excuses. I'm just saying when you're at a point where you've had you're playing away game after away game, the difficulty comes when you're having to form new partnerships. Those partnerships, we can keep saying, oh, we've got squad depth, but the squad depth needs to be with first team players. Now, with these first team players, we're almost like having to just play the bottom barrel. There's a reason why they're 3rd, 4th choice, because when you're playing against a top 3, 4 team, that squad depth that doesn't really equate to being somebody that you can rely on to win the game. Again, I'm not giving excuses. I think on the
I just
balance
wish
of,
I
on
can't
the
lie. I
balance
wish
of
I had this. I wish I could do this last season. I wish I was given
the-
enough
the-
time to talk about how we had loads of defenders out, DMs out, this
again.
out, that out. I was never given that time.
But
But
the thing
We're
is,
just fair.
right?
We're good
The
people.
thing,
That's what it is.
the thing is, again, I 100% agree with you. There's no, again, I want to make it very clear. I am not saying it's an excuse. I think that Arsenal, on the balance, you know what, Jay, I might even agree with you. On the balance of probability, I think they had some really clear chances, and I wouldn't be shocked if we have lost the game. It was just a sucker that we lost in the
I
last
thought
minute.
Villa played really well,
And
man.
I think if you look at the game, Hincapié, he wasn't great. And I think Hincapié's had a lot of.
He grew into the game.
I think Hincapié, when you look at the last minute, the mistake he made, because he's so right-footed, he didn't clear the ball, and he kind of made the mistake, and then they obviously got the ball. Whatever happened with it from there, So yeah, listen, man, I think it's half a dozen of one of another. Sorry, and yeah, like I'm not worried. I'm not sitting here worried to the point of, oh my god, like 2 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago, I think, yeah, no, it was bad. But let's just keep it a buck.
we're an unknown quantity, Lee. We are an unknown quantity.
We could sit here 6 days ago, next week, 6 days later, sorry, when you play Crystal Palace and you've dropped points, and then it all changes, and again we're all going to lose our heads. So
see, my whole thing, Lee, there is a reason why I'm not on here like on Saturday with Catch as well. There's a reason why I'm not on here saying we're winning the league. Haven't once, not once. Yeah. The only one time I've said it was on a Sava show where Sava was pushing me. I said, oh, we might just win it. Yeah. But that's the only time. And that was about 2 months ago. Yeah. And that's because I do think City are an unknown quantity, like, because this is a new squad. Yeah. For me, you're not one of the bad ones. You know, it's for me personally, it's the people that tell me City is shit.
He's not one of the bad ones.
Let's keep it.
Hold on. Let me
leave.
No.
Hold on.
Lee's one of the to you, but
Exactly.
overall, for the boasting of what Arsenal would do, you don't hear Lee saying we're doing a quad, we're doing a treble, we're winning it by game week 32. We might just get 100 points because we want to. We're not conceding goals. He don't do any of that stuff.
No, Daps, no. Where you're going wrong, Daps, is you're comparing him to Hooks, who is the worst of the worst.
No. Again, why? Wait.
The worst of the worst.
No. Lee's just the biggest flip flop. That's all Lee is.
No. And again, right?
Hooks is up here. Lee's here.
Lee's just flip flop.
I never go crazy head loss when Arsenal win a game or lose a game. I give you the stick, pause, because of 5 years of the crazy stuff that you've been doing to me, and you know this. So, and you're gonna get your comeuppance in this show because, as I said, you're not gonna like me today. But anyway,
Lee,
Hey,
at the
listen,
beginning
I was
of
looking-
last
I
season,
said, man,
at the beginning of last
yo.
season, you said, I asked you who's going to win the league.
Liverpool. I said Liverpool.
No, it was. Sorry, the season before that, you were like, what's higher than number one?
So what? That was 2 years ago. You're talking about something that happened
This season.
months ago.
This season. What you've said this season.
Yeah, and I believe Arsenal are going to win the league this season. And again, make it clear what I said. I said I would like to see Liverpool win the league because of the Jota thing.
Don't pull the heartstrings, Lee, bro.
That is the truth. But I believe
I feel like
Arsenal
Lee's
win
kind
it.
of almost sending out a bit of an olive branch today, conveniently
No,
on the weekend that he's lost.
I don't want to make it. I don't want to make it seem like I'm bringing any excuse. I'm not flip flopping. I'm still going to back Arsenal to win the league because I believe that they will win the league. And I think. Do you know what? I think there's credence to say Arsenal are going to win the league because the league actually isn't as great as it was 2 years ago. I don't care how we win it, but I do believe that the league isn't as strong because I think there is clearly 2 teams that are of a certain level. We've seen what's happened with Liverpool. We've seen what's happened with Chelsea.
I mean, are we putting Villa in there? Villa are 1 point behind us, you know.
Yeah, they're 3 points behind us.
But we
Okay,
know what
fine.
Villa are like.
I don't. Again, over the
drop
course of longevity, over the course of the season, I don't believe that Man City and Crystal Palace and Aston Villa are going to be there to win the league. I just don't, and I could be mistaken. And if I do, then I'll come back here and I'm going to have to give you the flowers that you deserve. But currently, I haven't seen enough. And again, I'm not even sitting there saying this from an Arsenal fan. Man City fans are also saying that they haven't seen enough.
Most City fans are saying this. Yeah, we're saying at the moment, like, we probably shouldn't be where we are. Yeah, but And this is what I started off by saying. What we have seen is that Arsenal will continue to drop points. So Arsenal are going to drop points, and it's, can we be the City team of old that take advantage of that? Now, it's an unknown quantity because we do have a lot of new players. We are a young side and whatever. And at the moment, I do think that here's the thing that I truly do believe, from January, from moving forward, City are going to keep getting better. Like, you know, I get you lot are missing players. I mean, at the moment, we're having to go with 1-6, We don't have an 8 that can do a deep lying role, really, because Kovacic is out, Rodri's out, so we're just going with that one. Once Rodri gets back, and once these players really, really start to connect with each other, I just think we're going to keep getting better. But I don't know that factually, because this is a different squad.
I mean,
I agree with you on that.
None of us know anything factually. All I'm sitting here saying is away from home, no excuses. I think all the big teams are going to struggle away from home. I even saw, now again, I'm not sitting there giving disrespect to Liverpool. I don't think they actually deserve it, but they struggled against Burnley away from home. So every away game isn't going to be easy. I don't think conceding 4 goals away from home to Fulham, with no disrespect, they are not somebody, they're 15th. I don't think that there's any credence for me to be worried about Man City to the point where, oh my God, they're going to go on a 16-game unbeaten run. It is not going to happen. Man City are going to drop points. They've still got to go away to some difficult away grounds. Let's see. And
but then
again,
I think
they lost against Aston Villa as well. Let's just.
But then again, if you look at the Fulham game, I think this is a prime example because goal difference, it's equal. Why? Because whereas defensively, you would say, you know, you shouldn't be conceding 4 goals to Fulham. And I agree with you on that. But when you are a team that can score 5 goals, which you are not, then, you know, that's why our goal difference is equal. I want to ask you something, though. Let's talk a little bit of football. Odegaard came back in, your captain and whatever, But
he's so
do you think Odegaard played right? How do you feel about it? Odegaard plays.
How did he get man of the match?
It pushes Eze out to the left. How do you feel on that, Lee?
Sorry, there's like 4 different points. Which one am I making?
Sorry. How do you feel on Odegaard coming back in and the fact that pushes Eze out to the left?
Right. I'll be honest. I don't think Odegaard was a problem here. And again, he did not deserve man of the match. No way. But what I will say is there's a bigger problem here that we need to talk about. Now, I'm not going to sit here and blame the captain for his performance. You just come back, let him work his way into the team and find his feet. Olympiacos, everybody waxed lyrical because he had a superb performance. Remember, he's been injured 3 times, twice on his shoulder, once on his knee. This is his 2nd game back, first start. Let's not go crazy. The bigger problem, and I've still got PTSD, and I tweeted it Saturday 3 times, and I tweeted it on X once on a Sunday. I've actually got nightmares from that Gyökeres performance. That was an absolutely hall of shame performance. That was disgusting what I saw. That was absolutely, honestly, a bottom tier performance. And for me, I know for sure that was no better than a League One performance. No better than a League One. So we can talk about Odegaard and all these things, but if that guy was coming to lead us to a title, we're in trouble. We are in massive, massive trouble to the point where Marino was so bad in the first half that we were calling for Marino to be subbed back on. That's how poor Gyökeres was. So yes, we could talk about Odegaard, we could talk about, but the guy that you bought for £60 million to come on and make a difference and lead you to a title in these clutch moments, he couldn't hold the ball up, he couldn't link the play. And if you remember, in the second half, the reason why Aston Villa got more impetus is because the ball was passed to him and he laid it off and he went off for a throw-in. That's how bad he was. And they're like, do you know what? Connor's like, I don't need to worry about this guy because all he's going to do is try and back into me like it's carnival, like we're in August, and he's not going to hold the ball up. And it's not conducive to an attack. So we can talk about the attack, we can talk about all the offensive players, but let's talk about a massive focal point. You need something. You need somebody to do channel runs. You need somebody to hold the ball up. You need somebody to do something to be of credence.
I have a question.
And he does nothing.
Ironically, that was one of the things that.
One of you guys, one of you. BD, go first then. BD, then Jay.
Ironically, that was one of the things that Gyökeres is kind of good at, was channel runs. And remember I said before the season, listen, I said, I've watched a lot of Gyökeres, and then D tried to tell me how many games you watched. But I could promise I watched more of Gyökeres than everybody that was on that panel put together. I know what I was talking about with Gyökeres, and I said this is the exact same thing. He's not a box striker. The way he is most effective is when he gets the ball and charges into the box. And then now it's all coming to fruition. I told you.
Yeah, he was honestly, he was diabolical. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
But no, it's for some reason when it's me talking, I think it's because Cass has now made this a little stigma of little cousin sort of thing.
And again,
you know,
by the way, I'm not
excusing
excusing, because as the captain, I do think you need to be a bit more creative. But what I will say, in the second half, he had about three shots. He tried to play in Saka a few times.
Very poor shots.
Yeah, but he had the one shot that was a worldie from the keeper that he saved. It was a great save. So listen, again, Declan Rice, I don't think he played as amazing as he had this season. So listen, there are loads of players that I think fell below the level.
Let me just.
There are loads of players that fell below the level. None of to the point where I think we should have lost the game personally. But
I personally think Villa were the better team. I do think. Can I just say one thing? It is small margins, Lee. I agree. On Odegaard, let me be clear, because I'm not saying he was bad, right? What I asked was, you know, we've seen Eze in recent weeks play in a more central role, and he's a game changer, right? Eze, and I said when you bought him, this is the type of player that takes draws to wins with single moments of brilliance, right? As a 10, yeah? Because he's got more of an eye for a goal for me than Odegaard. Like, I've always said it. Anyone that compared Odegaard to De Bruyne, I disagree. I think Odegaard is more of a comparable to the David Silva type player. More of a and that's where I said, I think on Catch's show on Friday night, not against Villa. Villa away is not the game to do it, but I would at some point, maybe Wolves at home is the game to do it. I would like to see a midfield of maybe of Rice or Zubimendi, Odegaard, and Eze.
We did do it and then Odegaard got injured in the first 20 minutes. I think it was Nottingham Forest at home. We did it. We had both of them in the midfield, and I think we had Declan Rice. Zubimendi then came on, and I don't know if you remember, he scored a screamer to open up the goal again. So for me, I understand that, but there are certain games. That game, you needed men to step up, and we had a few divas. We had a few divas. Eze, he wasn't good enough, but again, I'm not going to sit here and say, because he's played. If you look at his functionality at Crystal Palace, he plays on the left. Now, however he plays on the left is different, but he starts on the left, he drifts inside. On Saturday, let's just call a spade a spade. He wasn't good enough. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to allow for because he's playing on the left, because when he's played on the left in certain games and he's performed, nobody's mentioned the left hand side. So let's not go crazy.
Me personally,
I don't like that.
I do just think that Odegaard in the 10, is less likely to get you a goal than Eze in the 10.
It's very negative.
In a team, you have to be so nimble. You have to be so nimble. It's half spaces. Odegaard's not that one. He's got that little lob pass.
Controller.
I think we saw a few good passes from Odegaard in the thing. Like, there was the one that was offside. That was like that pass was mint. Like, it was proper.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. For me, it's again, I did say it before. Like, when Gabriel gets his yearly injury, how are you going to perform? Because your get out of jail for free card is now gone. So it's now you're relying on open play to be your big thing. And from the start of the season, you weren't good enough in open play. I think against Brentford, you were fine. There was a game in Bilbao. Yeah, Bilbao. You lot were good in Bilbao. But
we won away from home.
Against us in open play, you were terrible. Against Aston Villa, you were okay, but it wasn't good enough. And this is why I talk about, like, this is why I can't put Declan Rice over Kaiser. I don't even want to talk into that, but it's just like, from open play, you're not giving me enough. You're not giving me enough. There's not enough that you can do. Because I don't think this
is a boring argument. I'm not even going to get into this.
No.
They play in two different positions.
But I'm saying, if he's playing as an 8, he has to be good in those open play situations.
VD, please stop doing it. VD, you're making yourself. You're making yourself.
No. I'm not even trying to.
You're mentioning. Stop mentioning one game.
Okay, if I don't mention Caicedo, and I just talk about Rice alone. If I just talk about Rice alone, he's not good enough in those sort of.
Okay, no worries, cool, no worries. Okay, fine.
I think it's a bit of a misprofile from Arteta. I think it's a misprofile from Arteta, man.
No, it's nice. He's shit. No worries. Let's move on.
Regarding what you said about Gyökeres, Lee, like, and look, I've been critical about this with Liverpool and Slot this season. Does an onus not have to go on Arteta for his utilization of Gyökeres? Because let's be honest, they don't really create that many chances for the striker, and Gyökeres is someone that needs to be catered to. He's not a striker, in my opinion, that's going to create something out of nothing. Now, Marino has been excellent for you guys, but I don't think he's going to potentially be the striker going forward. Does Arteta have to find a style of play that allows you to get some sort of tune out of Gyökeres, as well as Gyökeres step up as well?
100%, that is true. But if you look at what Marino does, Marino gets him, he makes chances, he makes himself, and he puts himself in the right position. Let's just take, for example, the goal we scored against Brentford. The cross came in from White, and Marino gets in there. Yeah. He doesn't even get into those positions. So yes, it's twofold. Well. Arsenal need to do more to create and get him touches and make. But if you look at the game that we scored, we played against Atletico, the ball had to literally hit him to go into the goal rather than him hitting the ball. So he has been poor.
On the Ben White one, though, am I right in saying it's usually Timber who plays right back, and Timber's not a player that crosses the ball in like that?
Yeah, no. But all I'm saying is that Gyökeres doesn't do enough to get himself. His IQ, his fundamentals are so poor that he can't even get himself in the position.
He's very poor in the air, by the way.
He is not good. I can't reiterate. I can't explain it. You see it when you see it live. You see him working hard, but this isn't WWE WrestleMania. This is football. I need to see channel runs. I need to see you hold the ball up and link the play. Whatever you want to say about Havertz has got everything else more well-rounded, but his finishing is something that we kind of can be a little bit abject and a little bit scary at times with what he does, but at least his all-round game is a lot more functional. Jesus is another one. Again, the finishing is very, very poor, but if you get a fully flick kind of player of Jesus's quality, he offers a lot more. The problem is that we've not had those third man runs, we've not had those goal-scoring midfielders, and hopefully we can get that when those two players come back. But Gyökeres is not the guy. Now, I think that he was somebody who was so would you say that?
Are you convinced on that, Lee? Already? That's like you're convinced he's not going to be.
Honestly, I'm so convinced. There's no.
Have you seen enough?
But the thing is, with Gyökeres, yeah, you give him a chance, you know he's going to bury it. That is the thing. But it needs to be. He needs to have. When you play in the Portuguese league for so long, you have so much time. So much time. Remember, I was talking
VD.
I talked about goal catalogue. Remember,
but VD is it's not just that. I said this in the summer, right? That. We've seen Gyökeres in that league, yeah, playing for that team, right, and score a lot of goals. But you come to the Premier League, right, and you are joining a team in Arsenal, a bit like when Haaland joined City. You're joining a team that have played well with a kind of false nine, right? Remember, City won the league before Haaland came, yeah, with a false nine, right? Arsenal last season. You could kind of say they're playing with a false nine, right? Or a target man. Well, whatever, however you want it, it wasn't with an out-and-out nine, yeah? But this is an Arsenal team that plays against low blocks, and this is the key, right? He's not going to have the same space that he had over there. It's a completely different ball game, right? Because you're playing against low blocks. When you play for Arsenal, you're playing against low blocks week in, week out, right? Now, you can sit there and say, oh, he's not getting enough space or whatever. Alternatively, I could have said that about Haaland, but if you are an elite striker, you create your own space. You find little moments.
Against low blocks, you kind of have to be elite in the air, or you have to have an elite box movement. And Gyökeres.
No. But Cal, this is a thing. I refuse. Same with your fan base when your fan base want to do the whole shit. Right. Oh yeah, but we can't compare Wirtz with Haaland or Wirtz with Churchill. We can't compare. Oh no, but the whole thing is, if I hear all summer. Daps, you better watch out, yeah. Gyökeres is coming, and I see everywhere I look, I see.
Man, I'm calling him.
Then I am gonna fucking bro. They were comparing him to Haaland, so for that reason, I will compare him to Haaland.
Lee, I can be objective. I was trying to help you out.
I don't actually care, to be honest. All I care about is winning. I just care about winning the league. Now, do I think Arsenal are going to still win the league with with Gyökeres and the problems and the issues that he's come around with him, yeah, I do still think that. But ultimately, he's not good enough, and he's not been good enough. Now, again, am I going to lose my head? Only a few weeks ago, without Gyökeres, we slapped Tottenham. Only a few weeks ago, we drew against Chelsea without Gyökeres. Only a few weeks ago, we played Spurs, because we played Spurs. We played Man City, and we drew the game in the last minute.
With a 90-second goal.
Yeah, listen, however, we drew the game. The result is there. So I'm not going to lose my head and act like the league is done. I don't believe the league is done. And as I said, we could be sitting here 6 days from now when Man City play against Crystal Palace away, who have the best away record and are playing well. They beat Fulham yesterday. That could be a draw, and then it can go back up to 4 points, and then again,
it's going to keep changing, bro. It's going to keep changing.
Again, until, and again, I'm not going to go crazy. We've lost our two otherworldly centre backs who are going to make a massive difference to the way that we build up from the back, which then makes a massive difference to Declan Rice because he doesn't have to sit there and defend as much. It's going to make a massive difference to Zubi because he knows he hasn't got to be as defensively assured because he knows he's got the security. And then you've also got Calafiori back in his position. And then you've also got Timber, who basically you could say is one of the best pound for pound defenders in the league. So listen, man, I'm not going to lose my head over a few poor results away from home. And I'm not even being funny. It's not like we drew against Burnley away from home, or it's not like we lost against
Villa
Burnley
away from home is equality.
Villa away from home is the same result that Man City had. So we've only equaled that. Let's just keep it cool. Let's keep it calm and get back on the saddle and we move forward.
Yeah. If Arsenal win next week and City don't, the narrative's going to change again.
Yeah, it's going to keep changing. Every bro,
but Man City ain't going to come back from this. It's football.
Agreed.
Which is why you get
but that's where I am, bro. That's where I'm not. This week we're winning it. Next week we're not. This week we're winning it. Next week we're not.
Which is why I was fence-sitting. This is exactly why I was fence-sitting.
And again, right, let's just we only saw this a week and a half ago because last week or a week and a half ago, Chelsea were in a title race and they won with a 1-1 draw. And now they're sitting 9 points behind us, I believe, or 8 points, 8 points behind us. And again, I don't think Chelsea are rubbish, of course not. But let's give it the facts. And if they're missing a lot of their players, and I'm conceding the tossing thing, VD. I'll give it to you. Okay, fine. You won. You won. You won, no problem. But again, I'm not going to lose my head. We're 2 points behind. We're 2 points behind a different City team. We've seen
2 points ahead of. 2 points ahead of.
Sorry, we're 2 points ahead of a different kind of City team who I just don't believe long term are going to pick up the amount of points that they need to win the league. That doesn't mean they're crap.
Do you know what I'm doing? You are actually slyly, yeah. You do it with a different tone and you do it with a different level of arrogance, but you do kind of do the same shit as a gal.
Passive aggressive, bro.
No, like a lot of listing why everything's going to be fine. Like I don't it's the same as a gal does. The listing of why
it's either one of two things. I either concede the league, and then people say that I'm losing my head, or I say that I still believe what I believed from the start of the season, and then people are going to be like, "Well, I'm being arrogant, so I can't win."
No, please,
I'll be real. Yeah, you're not too far wrong.
We need you to keep believing because it's going to make May so much sweeter. So please,
no problem.
Keep believing. Do you know what I'm saying?
No problem.
I'm worried about City's back.
People,
I actually rate the Arsenal fans that haven't lost their head yet. Do you know what I'm saying? Because in previous seasons, we all know what would have been happening, bro.
Listen, let me just
Arteta's are this.
Yeah, Jay, I'll be real, yeah. Jay, I'll be honest. Let me keep it a buck, yeah. And I've got no beef with nobody on YouTube. I don't care. But I watched the first 3-4 minutes intro, and I was actually cringing out. Like, man are going crazy, losing their head, screaming their heads off about a loss for the first time in. And again, troops, if you see this, someone tries to clip this up. It ain't no, bro, I don't care, bro. You're my guy. I've met you before a few times. We're good. But I'm cringed out by that, bro, because you're losing your head over what? League Gunner, same thing. I ain't got no beef with you, bro. We're good. No issues. We've got the same name. Cool. But to me, it's cringy, but you don't have to go that crazy, bro. It's one game.
Losing the game last minute is.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is,
bro? Let's just move on.
It's like I said, it's the like it. nothing can ever just be a bit calmer. Like with Arsenal's fan base, it seems always to be so. You're either doing a treble one week or your manager's not good enough the next. How about
I'm not
you're
crashing
hearing
it on the manager.
That's it.
I'm not crashing it on fans. I'm not crashing it on bro. I'm not. It's one loss. It's a very annoying loss. But let's move to the next game. Let's get a few of our players back, and then let's really judge this team before we go crazy and give it a little bit of context. I'm not saying don't use it. I'm not saying use excuses, but just give it a bit of context, man. Like, it's the last minute, a mistake was made, we move. That's it, man. Like,
right, people. 45 minutes on Arsenal, not bad. But it's time to move over. And I asked Chelsea or Liverpool next. Jay, like me, we got wins, so we don't really talk on our club.
Not to be bad mind, Daps. I've got to do school run, so I'm more than happy to take the next section.
Okay, perfect. You were going to take it anyway. Everyone wanted it to go there. So, firstly, Mr. Link with the super chat. Rice wasn't the problem for Arsenal Saturday. I agree, by the way. I actually think Rice was still doing his job, winning the ball back. I think Rice is such an interesting player for me because when I've heard people, the Arsenal fans that start comparing him to your Gerrards or your Yaya Tourés and that, it's like, that's not him. That is not him. Yeah, he's a different type of player for me. Like, Rice is an absolutely quality
defender.
I can't lie, he's a deep lying 8. But box to box, maybe, but I don't think he does enough going forward for me.
He's a weird player. He's a weird player. Like, he's so good defensively. He's so good, like, he's quite good in
winning the ball back all over the pitch.
In the middle, like, attacking wise, that's where I've got like a slight issue. Like, he's a great ball carrier and stuff. His passing isn't of the supreme level, but his defending is one of the best in the world for a midfielder.
That's why I don't even want to say that I've got issues with him.
Middle bit that he's missing.
Yeah, and I don't want to say I've got issues with that, because if that isn't him, that's fine. Yeah, it's just that's where I think maybe Rice. I don't know, man. Like, if Arsenal have Gabriel and Saliba, I think Rice could be a 6. Yeah, because when people talk about Rodri's a 6, Rodri's not a destroyer. Do you know what I mean? Rodri. So I don't know. Anyway, let's move on.
Rodri does win the ball a lot, though, Daps. He does win the ball.
Yeah, but so does Rice. So anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to your club. Bro, first question before we talk about the result. With the Salah thing, with the results, with the fact of how much money you've spent and blah, blah, is your club in turmoil? Like, is your club in a big problem, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch?
Yeah. Like, up until Saturday, the turmoil seemed like it was mainly on the pitch. We saw the whole club's in turmoil. It's terrible right now.
You hear the Van Dijk thing as well, saying let him speak, saying let Salah speak. That's mad.
What, Van Dijk's now come out saying that?
You know what? I'm going to say.
That was before Salah spoke in the mixer zone.
But I feel like I need to say a few things about Liverpool because.
All right, Lee, I'm going to ask one question now. Is this coming from Lee, who's frustrated at Liverpool fans who've compared Salah to Henry, or are we just speaking about the situation?
I'm talking directly about the situation, and that's it. Because I did a bit of research, and I've done quite a bit of research because I wanted to. I've seen a lot of Arsenal slander. I've seen a lot of Chelsea slander. I've seen a lot of Man City slander over the years. And I want to say, firstly, I think Salah's disgusting for what he's done. I think he's bang out of order, and he should have never said what it is, none of these things. I would never address any of my personal situations in the public, embarrassing anyone. You can't say you love the club in the same sentence and embarrass the club the same way. If you know you're going to leave, that's even worse, and it's a more bigger indictment because ultimately you said you love the club and you've embarrassed the club even more. You didn't need to say any of these things, whether it was something that you've spoken about beforehand and the manager's not listen to you, you still don't say that. That's embarrassing. The second thing is, I think Liverpool fans, and again, people think I hate.
Why shouldn't he say it?
Because you say you love the club. You can't talk up both sides of your mouth. There's never a point where
you never said he
hated Cal. Let me make it very clear. If you ever opened your mouth and said anything negative about your wife, In public, I'll come to South and find you myself, because you should never disrespect your wife in public.
Different
Never.
relationships, though. Different relationships,
No,
though.
no.
it's,
You can't.
I get
But
what
you've
he's trying to
you've
say, though,
openly in the same sentence said you love her, you love the club, and then you come out and embarrass him. No, you never do that. No,
Did you
as a
embarrass
Well, the
man,
club and
as a
manager
man,
aren't
we're
one
did you
though.
embarrass
we're
the club
all
or
men.
embarrass the manager?
We're all men on this. Again, that's even worse. You don't believe you're getting paid. Whatever you think, you're being paid £400,000 a month to play for this club. You
that
do
you
not.
held them hostage to get, by
You
the
do
way.
not say this stuff.
He
Now,
did not
again,
hold us hostage.
okay, no, he didn't. He deserved. No.
Oh,
Again,
he didn't.
He deserved. No,
No
hold on, wait.
way did he
He
hold us
deserved. He deserved that money. Now, again, the next thing I'm going to move to is the fact that it's all on Slot for why he's not playing. Please, people, don't insult my intelligence. Please, I don't want to hear no nonsense about it's Slot who doesn't want him to play. Do you think this is the same man who everybody in throughout the course of the season has said that it was a signing from the owners and from the board who wanted Kirkes as to why he's at the club? And now all of a sudden you think he's got the power to say to the board that, oh, hold on a second,
I don't
I
think
don't
that.
want
I don't
I
think
don't
that.
want Mo Salah no more. Please don't insult my intelligence. I am not stupid. And again, this is where Liverpool fans again lose me, because I have a lot of people think I hate Liverpool. I don't. I've got a lot of admiration, because I think that, and again, if you don't live in England, you won't understand how emotional the city is,
I bet you
which
let
then
me.
bleeds into which then leads into the club. People don't know the politics behind Liverpool as to why it makes them so emotional and so close to their club. And I actually like that, because I don't look at Liverpool as a club. I look at them as an institution. They're different. They're not the normal average club. They're very similar to Dortmund. They're looked at as very one club. That's how they are. I love that stuff. But you then can't come out and say, oh, we're Liverpool fans. We're the only ones that can speak on our club. That's not the case. And you did the same thing in the summer with Trent when he
I
said
don't know.
nothing.
Remember,
When
I
he
don't know
said
that.
nothing all
Hold on.
season long. Last season, he said nothing, and you lot called him a rat week in and week out. Now, hold on. Now, when Salah comes
Not
out, you should be calling him a rat. I don't want to hear no nonsense about this
Lee.
Liverpool fan base.
Lee. Once again, you're right in what you're saying, but you can't say all Liverpool fans are the same.
No, they're not. They're not. I'm generalizing here the same way how everyone gets generalized. So I'm not nitpicking here. Well, that's how it happens, right? Arsenal fan get called deluded.
Can
Are
I ask
all
a
Arsenal
question?
fans deluded? No. So
Fairs,
my last point is ultimately you've got a club with Van Dijk who last 2 weeks ago got told by Wayne Rooney in an interview that he tried to dump on him and say, well, you don't see me fighting, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Well, you've done tools. I saw you playing handball a few weeks ago. You are disgusting. You as a captain have come out and you're basically saying, let Salah talk. That means that Wayne Rooney was 100% right, and you have tried to defend Mo Salah. You tried to defend your position and act like you aren't jeopardizing your team's performances with your poor play, and he's doing it on purpose. And you lot are all blaming Gakpo. Now, do you know what I did? I did some research and I've got the quotes here. Went on Jamie Phillips's show. I went on Coppice's show when Gakpo signed, and everybody said things such as, and I quote, well deserved. I'm so happy that he is signed. Now let's get some more business done. And now all of a sudden, Gakpo's the reason why you guys aren't performing and he shouldn't have signed. And it was Diaz that should have stayed, which is a lie. That is a factual lie, because nobody on these platforms said anything poorly about Gakpo. Now all of a sudden, Gakpo's the reason why you're not winning. Gakpo's at fault, and Gakpo is the issue here, when that isn't the case. You and your players need to stand up and actually start performing, because the manager has given and entrusted a lot of these players to perform and they haven't. And you're going to come at here and say other players should have been playing in this position and that position. I'm sorry. If you're going to sit here and tell me that Van Dijk should have not played and Konate should have played and it should have been Gomez or an Endo in centre back, please don't insult my intelligence. If that happened, everybody would say that Slot has lost his mind
Wait,
for
Lee,
allowing
Especially
these
Endo.
players to
Endo
play.
I don't want to
Please
defend
do not
the
insult my
Liverpool
intelligence.
fans.
It's utter crap.
Lee, I
what
don't want to
Liverpool
defend the
fans are
Liverpool.
saying.
I think most of them are pissed because Gakpo shouldn't. Like, the reality is, yeah, they were happy that they signed him. You can be happy that you signed a player, but he shouldn't be starting week in, week out for Liverpool Football Club. I think that's where their frustration is, and I can understand that we've got players that I don't think should start. Just to touch on Salah, yeah. The reason why I say Salah's a disgrace is because you have been shit all season.
All season.
You have been shit for a good 5 months, bro. You don't have the right to now come out and say, "Oh, everybody's throwing me under the bus. Boo hoo, poor me. Everyone feel
Jay,
bad for Mo."
sorry, Jay.
No, bro. I'm sorry. Well, go for it. Go.
Yeah, apologies, because I've got to go in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, go for it.
Lee, I don't think the Trent and Salah situations are alike at all. And case in point is Liverpool fans got on Trent because he weren't saying. Once again, I'm not sharing how I feel. I'm sharing what the majority of Liverpool fans felt. Liverpool fans felt Trent bailed away from speaking about the contract situation where Virgil and Salah were speaking up about it. And then everything came out and he acted the way he acted after it happened. The Liverpool fans were upset they didn't speak out. Liverpool fans aren't upset. On a whole, Liverpool fans aren't upset Salah's spoken about and the way he's spoken out. The reason why we're not is because Arne Slot has been doing a madness in terms of player management and what he's been doing. I hear what you're saying in terms of you can't drop Endo, you can't drop Virgil and Konate at the same time and play Endo and Gomez. No one's saying to do that, Lee. But when I'm sitting here and I'm watching certain players getting plenty of game time, which doesn't equate to what they deserve, it's crazy. We look at the Salah situation in isolation. As a footballer, Salah this season has been poor. I don't have an issue in isolation with Salah being dropped, but I'll switch the narrative. Say, for example, Lee, me and you both stole the exact same item from the shop at the same time, and Daps caught us both, but Daps sacked me, but just gave you a written warning. Daps is right to sack me because it's a sackable offense, but it becomes an issue when only you get a written warning after I've been sacked. So you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Sorry, what it is I hate Scousers. That's why.
But do you see what I'm going through in this situation, Lee? I'm not saying in isolation it's wrong to drop Salah, because his performances haven't been good enough. But when I'm seeing Gakpo playing, when I'm seeing Konate playing, when I'm seeing Virgil doing up rebounds, rebounds, trying to do up Shaquille O'Neal, when I'm seeing Kirkes doing up madness, when I'm seeing other players like McAllister doing up a madness, but they're starting games, they're not quote unquote being scapegoated.
You don't have anybody to replace these players that you
hold on.
Telling you now, who's the player you rate? Lee.
Who's the player you rate at Liverpool? What's the midfielder you rate at Liverpool that gets bad?
No, hold on, no. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I don't need to. The narrative would have been, I can tell you now, the narrative would have been world-class McAllister. That's what everybody told me. World-class McAllister is not starting and you're playing Jones. Please give me don't embarrass us. Don't try and embarrass me by insulting my intelligence. That is utter nonsense. The manager has said, do you know what? I'm going to entrust certain players. Now, Gakpo, I can agree he's not played well enough, but he's also thinking, do you know what? I trust him because he's not going to go and down tools like some of your other players. Now, he's also got players in a certain position that he can't rotate, and ultimately he's had to entrust them to play, and they have down tools. Van Dijk is absolutely a bang out of order. He's one of the worst.
What about Chiesa?
Yeah, again, okay, fine. We can go tit for tat. We can go tit for tat about
he's there for vibes.
Whether Chiesa should have played or not. That's something which the manager, I don't know. But I am gonna say again, if Chiesa starts, I don't think he's gonna make a massive difference to the way you play to help you win games. That's fine. We can't say it's not gonna make a because
we don't see it, Lee. You see when you say about Jones and McAllister, yeah, we're not sitting there at the beginning of the season saying Jones starts ahead of McAllister, We're saying after 5-7 games, we're going, why is Jones not starting ahead of McAllister?
It was all good when you played Real Madrid, right? And you won the game, and he played good, right? So we know he's got the performances. I want to know why they're not playing well.
What about the lead up to those games, only?
Listen, I'm giving you an example of a game when he played well.
Cool. If Gyökeres scores in the next game, then he should, without a doubt, get the starts going forward.
No, and I tell you the reason why, because he's got previous of playing well, and I want to see him perform to the level that he should be. That's what I want to see.
McAllister doesn't have previous this season of playing well. So
no. Over the course of this is his third season at Liverpool.
We're talking about
and
this season, Lee. I don't want to hear about
no. I'm talking about over the course of his longevity at Liverpool. I've seen him produce at a certain level, and now he's dropped below that level. And there's two ways of doing it. You either take them out the firing line, or you play them into performances. And the manager's tried it, and it's not working for whatever reason. And I agree, there are certain players that he could have rotated a bit more. But for Salah to come out, for Van Dijk to come out, and for you lot to put it all on Gakpo and the manager and to make out like the manager, he's tried to change certain things. He's tried to change certain things.
I'll be real, man. The manager's got it horribly wrong.
He has got a lot wrong. He has got a lot wrong. But I also,
bro,
I think there's it's a twofold.
To Salah to who's in the midfield. The way he's set up has been atrocious, man. Like, there's only so much a manager can do.
No, the manager can do that.
But VD, on Saturday, the manager made changes. They drew the goal. They drew the game. You're not going to put that on the manager, then, is it? The players are going out of their way to make mistakes on purpose.
Just because the game at the weekend, I put more on the players. I agree with that. But what about
it's all on the players? No. It's not more on the players. It's all on the players.
No, it's not all on the players, Lee. It's not all on the players because
the team was 2-0 up.
Yeah. How are we 2-0 up, Lee? Leeds gave us a goal.
But not again. Or because of high pressing, which then led to a mistake.
It wasn't high pressing, bro. He just made a bad pass, Lee.
I'm sorry. I mean, you lot are making bare excuses.
I haven't seen
no excuses, brothers. I've genuinely got to go and pick up the kids. We got to finish this conversation.
Am I with you at 4?
Say again, sorry?
Am I on with you at 4?
Yeah.
Brilliant. We will continue this conversation.
All right, big up, brothers.
Love, Cal.
Lee, don't threaten me like you did last week. Yeah, big up, everyone.
Everyone knows I love my guy. I'm my bro still.
Enough love, boys.
Come on.
Love. People, please make sure you're still smashing the like video. The likes are a little bit low. A couple of super chats from Mr. Link saying, Cal, he's the head coach, not the manager.
And, it's funny though as well, right? It's funny because only a few weeks ago I was hearing that Gravenberch is the region of Patrick Vieira. That is what I was physically hearing. Now it's the manager's fault for everything, right? This is what I'm saying. Mandem need to now start putting a lot more emphasis on a lot of these players because these players are meant to be world class, all conquering. Just won the league only 4 months ago. He beat the board allegations, and now all of a sudden he's this, he's that, and he's the third. The manager, yes, has been poor, but these players are disgrace. They make me sick, some of them. Because if it was Chelsea, I remember, Vidi, you might not even remember this. I remember when Man City players were absolutely killed because they dropped the down tools for Mancini and Pellegrini. I will never forget that, bro. I will never forget when Chelsea players were killed when they wanted Mourinho out. When they wanted what's the other brother's name? The Portuguese guy. When you won the Champions League.
Villas Boas.
No, not Villas. Who won the Champions League? No, Di Matteo. Sorry, when Di Matteo, I'll never forget the way Chelsea players down tools and these players got killed. I'll never forget this. And now all of a sudden, it's all the manager just because it's Liverpool. Yes, the Liverpool manager's made a lot of mistakes, but I want to know who you want the manager to replace these players with when you have certain lieutenants on a pitch that are meant to come in and do a certain level. Van Dijk is on an inside sabotage job. Konate is on an inside sabotage job. If you want to replace these players with Endo at centre-back or Gravenberch at centre-back or Joe Gomez at centre-back, I'm sorry, nobody in their right mind would believe that is the right thing to do.
This is why I also think like the manager is not helping these players who have been poor to get better. He's not putting them in positions where it's supposed to help them. Again, Kirkers shouldn't be playing the role he is. I'm seeing Salah way too wide, like most of the times. Like the midfield balance, it's not there. I keep saying the midfield balance is not there. He's also not helping. Yes, the players have been poor, but I feel like the manager's putting them in positions where they're not really supposed to be. It doesn't really suit the way they play. Remember, profiles are also a big thing in football. Profiles kind of win you the games. It's the same way as styles make fights. It's the same thing here. He's not putting them in positions where they should be performing well. Like it is joint blame.
I said that.
Realistically, these handballs and Van Dijk backing off, you can't blame that on the manager. I feel like defensive issues is not there, but
I think the problem is, I think that tactically they've got it all wrong for whatever reason. The balance of the squad,
I think it's mainly tactically.
Balance of the squad. I can't lie, I disagree because I feel like initially it's that, right? And I think like when we dropped off, initially it could be tactics, it could be injuries, one of those two things, yeah. But then what takes over becomes the confidence of the players, becomes the mentality of the players, it becomes the potential clicks in dressing rooms. The fact that Van Dijk has come out before Mo Salah spoke and
disgusting. It's disgusting.
Oh, I feel like there's certain players brought in. As an example, take Kirk as an example, right? It's very clear to every single one of us that watches Liverpool, yeah, that Van Dijk fucking hates that guy and thinks he's not good enough, yeah? Now, if we see that on the pitch, then what do we not see off the pitch, yeah? And I feel there's probably some clicks in the dressing room with Van Dijk, maybe with Salah, maybe
only
with
4 months ago, Liverpool fans said they want Robertson sold because he's not good enough. Now, all of a sudden, he's the solution. This is where I'm going. And again, people are going to act like I'm saying Liverpool are flip-flops. Every fan base have gone through this. But last season, we heard that we can't speak on Liverpool's situations because we're not Scouse and we can't mention it. Now, all of a sudden, we can't talk on this situation because, again, we're not Liverpool fans. We don't know what we're talking about, X, Y, and Z. It's always the same rhetoric. We're not stupid. We're not dumb.
Real quick.
Yeah,
I agree with what you're saying. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. Yeah? As football fans, are you not allowed to analyze a situation and change your opinion?
No, we're not.
After seeing, like, let's say, for example, yeah, I thought, me being the dickhead that I am, yeah, I thought Dominic Solanke was going to be a world beater at Tottenham. Yeah, he's fucking shit. That's the reality, yeah. My opinion has now changed. So do you think that it's
we will have
to be so harsh on the Liverpool fans for saying, you know, the likes of Robertson shouldn't be at their club? They want this person starting that. I feel like they've just seen things unfold in front of their eyes and their opinions are changing, bro.
Jay, you're allowed to change your opinion, no problem. But what I'm saying, yeah, is these Liverpool fans are blaming majority of it on the manager because of the comments that he's making and because of the tactical changes that he's made, inverting Turkey's. But there's also got to be a certain level of performance from a lot of these players. Now I'm asking my captain, can you just perform 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10? Can you not turn your back on every single moment and make sure that you defend properly? Can you not put your hand up and intentionally, in my opinion, give a penalty away? Konate, can you not at 2-0 make such a boneheaded decision, game in, game out, when they know Joe Gomez can't play game in, game out? Because why? He's the third place centre back, and he's also a backup right back because they obviously had a few players out. So they can't keep making these changes. If the manager started the game and made all of these changes, so took out McAllister, took out Gravenberch for playing poorly, took out the 2 centre backs, took out Mo Salah, all of these changes, everybody would look at this guy crazy. They would say, oh, why are you not playing this guy? Why are you not playing? So either way, it's twofold, because they would have lost these games. I know they would have lost these games. And then everyone would have said, the manager doesn't know what he's doing. The manager is trying to make changes like he did against Leeds. They were 2-0 up. However you want to say they were 2-0 up, whether it was intentionally, whether it was lucky, whether it is forced play. And the players have lost or drawn that game. Nothing to do with the manager. And the manager is... that these fans are going on like I'm crazy for expecting a certain level. When only a few weeks ago, Rooney called out the captain. The captain basically made Rooney sound like an idiot for even questioning his integrity. And it's clear to see what he's done. And nobody wants to talk about that. No one.
Can I ask you lot something? Because obviously I'm going to have my opinion. My opinion is going to be biased because I'm a Manchester City fan. But last season, when we were in very similar run of form to Liverpool, I think it now goes down as not being as bad as Liverpool's, apparently. But either way, at that point, did you see any of our players doing shit like this? Like you can say that De Bruyne, you can say that Gundogan, you can say that Bernardo, you can say that Kovacic, our older players, you can say that they look tired. But did you see our experienced players like fucking having this meltdown that seems to be going on at Liverpool? Because I don't remember seeing it.
No.
Like, I don't remember seeing it. I think what's going on there, it does seem mad, but we're going to move on. We're going to move on. VD, just one thing for Mr. Link said, what's the solution?
For me, I can't lie. I think the manager would have to go. Like, it's not, I don't think it's working in it. And it's very hostile. I think you get someone that probably just helps them out a bit more, you know, someone that's just more logical. If it's this toxic, if it is this toxic, you got interviews, you know, you got your captain saying, let the guy speak. Just call it off, man. I'll be real, call it off. It's not the way to go. Hold on, I got.
Yeah, for real. Right. But the last game, the last team we are going to come to, I'm presuming he didn't go on purpose, but it is Chelsea. It is Liam Delap.
I need to talk about Delap, Daps.
Please.
He needs to. So, the Chelsea fans, yeah, not all the Chelsea fans, by the way. I know nowadays football fans are very fickle, and you have to specify that you're not talking about all the fans. I'm not
just quickly. I can hear you, but I got to get something from the door in it. But I still got my headphones on, so I can hear you. So just give me 2 minutes.
These man told me that he was the next Harry Kane. That's what that came out of Chelsea fans' mouth. They said Liam Delap will be the next Harry Kane. You disrespectful dogs. Don't ever disrespect my king like that ever again, you frauds. That's the first thing. Second of all, it's never too late to join WWE, bro. It's never too late to jump on a Misfits boxing event. You know what I'm saying? We can get you on an undercard or something. It's never too late. No one can convince me that that guy is not a championship striker, bro. A couple goals for Ipswich was never going to fool me. He is so bad. He is bad. Like, I thought Richarlison was bad. My God. I genuinely take Richarlison every day of the week over Liam Delap, bro. Respectfully, bro. Respect. Man are calling him Rory Delap. What does he do? We all sit there and laugh at fucking all he does is back up on players. Delap's on the same thing.
Well, the mad thing is, like, while VD's not here, you know, obviously Delap came through our academy. Delap cooked at a young age, yeah. Left foot, right foot, good with his head. But I can't lie, I didn't really see too much at Ipswich personally. I mean, I think if you look at when he played in the Championship, he wasn't that good. Then at Ipswich, he got told, and I got told this, that he got told at Ipswich, look, yeah, stop trying to be a baller, because apparently in the Championship, you're trying to ball out. Stop trying to be a baller. You're an old school fucking forward, yeah? You know, it's fine getting in fights and whatever else. Just go back to being a bully. He got told that at Ipswich, apparently. So, but I don't know. At the moment, like I said at the weekend, I'll say it again. When it comes to Chelsea buying players that come off the Manchester City conveyor belt, someone needs to be put in there to vet what Joe Shields is doing, because it seems like Joe Shields just literally, if you've been through Man City's academy, Joe Shields wants you, yeah? And all right, it worked with Palmer. It worked with Lavia to an extent, although, you know, there was a reason City didn't bring Lavia back. He just is obsessed with the academy players from City, and I think he's...
Do you know what it is, though, with Delap? I don't think he's rubbish, but I just think he doesn't actually know how to use his attributes as well as he thinks he does. That's when he starts thinking, do you know what, I'm not in the game, I'm not getting the ball, and I start doing the wrestling thing. I do think that his base level is better than Gyökeres, but I just don't know why he keeps getting himself involved in certain issues on the pitch. And he doesn't actually find, I don't think his first thought is to score goals. I think his first thought is to engage with defenders. And I just don't think that he's really thinking smartly about his actual gameplay. Again, I don't think he's rubbish, but I just think that a lot of Chelsea fans thought that he was going to come in and start banging 10 and 12 goals. And I don't think that was ever the case.
VD, you were one of those Chelsea fans.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, see, there's this is the thing, yeah. Everything needs to be put into context. I think, yes, he hasn't been good enough when he's played, but you also need to look, like, this guy has played 348 minutes this season, yeah. He's got 8 games, or he started 8 games in the Premier League, or he's played 8 games, started 6. 2 of those, he came off because of injury. One was in the 14th minute against Fulham. One was in the 32nd minute, which was last game. Who did you play last game? Played. I can't even remember.
You played Leeds and Bournemouth.
It was Bournemouth. He came off 32nd minute because he got injured. So in 2 of those starts out of the 6, he got injured. So he's basically started 4 games. Like, do you know what I mean? And if you put this into perspective, Rodri, who we feel like has been non-existent, we haven't seen this guy, has only played 55 minutes less than Delap in the Premier League. Yeah, I'll give you more. Josh Achiempong, our right back that everybody is crying, please start this guy at centre back. He's played more minutes than Delap, and he's been benched for the past 4 or 5 games. John Stones has played more minutes than Liam Delap in the Premier League.
Fucking hell, yeah, that's
John
mad.
Jose Sarr. Let me go a few more.
But let me just ask you. Okay, this is all good and well, but let me just ask you one question. I think that everybody wants to know. With the minutes that he's been played and allowed to have, do you think he's been anywhere near the level that you thought? Be honest.
Should I? Okay. Now let me give you a rundown of the games, yeah, because I can say
no. Just general.
I know. But let me. I'll talk about them. I'll talk about them. Yeah. 17 minutes versus Crystal Palace. Yeah, 17 minutes against a team that are stubborn. You know how stubborn they are. Do you expect him to score in those 17 minutes?
No. I don't care about the goals and assists. I'm asking you. Do you think he's been anywhere near good enough?
Been distributed. Do you need
no,
to,
but I'm just asking.
He needs to play. He needs to play at a high level. Yes.
So yes or no? Yes. So yes or no?
It's subjective because I feel like I've seen some things that are good, but then there's a lot of things like against Burnley when he's taking these long shots and stuff. Why are you doing that? The same with
overall, whether you want to see,
he could be better, but I don't think.
Okay, so no. Currently, if we're nitpicking, because you're a top elite level club, so that's how we have to judge him. Currently, for the level that you thought, he's coming below that level. Now you can give the context, which I think is fair. The minutes played and the teams he's played against, 100% VD, I can agree with. But if we're just doing the barefaced facts of what you thought when he came in, and the impact that he would be allowed to have, he's not done anywhere near enough for what you think. That's it.
This is why I always say it's not so plain forward.
No, but VD, if you want to be, but VD, if you're at a top club, but VD, if you're at a top club, you have to nitpick. You can't just sit there and give all of it.
Oh, you can't be can't be world champion getting away with
he hasn't played a full 90. Like, what would you expect to do in a full 90? Again, let me just quickly give you a rundown. You had a 17 minutes versus Crystal Palace. Was he going to do anything? Come on, guys. It is Crystal Palace. They're a hard game. Remember how they started the season as well, the whole unbeaten thing. It weren't going to run. He weren't going to do much. Crystal Palace, he was the one that set up Esteval's assist. He dragged the defender out. Esteval goes through, crosses it across. You got Enzo back post. We score a goal from that. Yes, it's not a goal and assist from himself, but it's still a good involvement. 14 minutes versus Fulham in this next game. 14 minutes, got injured, pulled his hammy. Now, the game he came back versus Wolves, fair enough, man's punching man up for no reason. That I'm looking at thinking, like, you are a dickhead for that. Like, you are a proper dickhead for that. You can't be doing that. Carabag, it was him that played the pass to Garnacho that ended up, Garnacho's shot got deflected. It was a good thing. He dropped deep, played a good pass to Garnacho, and it led to the Garnacho goal, but it doesn't go on the score sheet, right? Again, Wolves, I don't think Wolves are very good. Like, he just come back from 2 points. This is the thing is, he has just come back from a hammy. He didn't play properly versus Wolves the first time. He got 45 versus Karabag. And again, hammy, it ain't nice, bro. You still need to get up to scratches.
Okay, but VD, at the start of this
let me just finish it.
Lee, he spent a lot of time preparing this. Let him.
Like the only thing, in my opinion, that he did wrong against Burnley was that long shot. He didn't do anything else wrong. Like, it was him that played the pass, or he ended up playing a pass to Neto, which Neto then squared it back post. And it was a good pass. It was a good bit of centre forward play. This is the sort of stuff you need. Barcelona, he scored and he should have had an assist that game. Barcelona, cool 10 men is what it is. 35 minutes.
But VD, at the start of this show, I was asked a question. But VD, hold on. At the start of this show, I was asked a question by Daps. He asked me to talk about the differences between between Odegaard and Eze, and he wanted an answer as to, do I think that one should be in one position, one shouldn't play, or whatever. And you have to nitpick when you're at a top club.
Yeah,
So I'm
facts.
just asking you a very simple question. For the level that you thought that, and the contributions that you thought he would come in and make, whether he's had 500 minutes, 1,050, that 1 minute, that one game that he could have played 50 minutes, 17 minutes, do you believe over the course of his time here, he's done enough for you, for what you thought? It's either a yes or no. Again, you've added the context.
It's not just a yes or no. It
You've
really
added the
is
con,
just a yes or no.
but
It
VD, let me just, and again,
Yeah.
you know this more than most. At an elite club, there isn't there aren't. I can't constantly give excuses for Arsenal, because ultimately we're in win now
When you
mode.
nitpick, the word nitpick means you need to speak specific things. So
Okay.
if you're nitpicking,
So when you and what I mean by the word nitpick is at the top level that you are as a club, and that Man City are, and that Arsenal are at, and that Liverpool are at, you have to nitpick. The reason why is because you are expected to deliver certain things that other clubs aren't. So when we compare, for example, Gerrard and Lampard, they're both not scrubs, but you have to nitpick to decide who is the better player, Xavi and Iniesta, etc., etc. So you now have three strikers, Mark Gu, or Gay, sorry. You also have the Brazilian João Pedro, and you have Delap. You have three strikers. You put all your eggs in one basket for Delap. So with the context of, I understand the players that the teams you played, the minutes that he's contributed and are being allowed, and the injuries. I understand all of these things, because when I said this at the start, when I spoke about Odegaard, you didn't want to hear. No one really wanted to hear that he just
About
come
the
back.
injuries, yeah.
About the injuries, you don't want to hear these things. So, and again, I'm not trying to dig you out here, Pauls. I'm just trying to understand you, because you could say yes, that you believe he's done enough, and that's not. I'm not going to kill you for that.
But
I just want an answer.
Again, this is why I say it's not a straightforward thing. Like
VD, did you do that on purpose? Like, but here's the thing: when you just described Delap, you talked about a less available Nicholas Jackson, basically, to me.
No, completely different players.
You were talking about his link-up play. Is that what you brought?
I said he's had some good hold-up play. His link-up play isn't. He's had some moments where he's passed it out. They're two completely different players, and I can't even lie. I don't think we were actually prepared to play with a proper number 9. Now, it's not to say, I'm not saying this is the manager. Don't twist my words, because if you want like a straightforward answer, I don't think he's been individually good enough because he's not thinking when he's got the ball. He's spending too much time fighting. But at the same time, I don't think the rest of the team is exactly helping him in that same way. You know, there was games. Come on, man. If you're going to play with a proper number 9, you see it with Haaland, yeah? You need these creators. You need them. You need them to do something to give him the sort of the chance. He's been playing with Neto. He's been playing with Garnacho.
You're not selling your shares in him yet.
No. I still think he will come good. It's just.
So, can you just tell me something, by the way? How many minutes has Delap played this season?
In the Premier League, he's played 348 or something like that.
In total, how many minutes has he played?
I can calculate it. He played an extra. So if you want to get the thing, an extra 31 versus Barcelona, 45 versus Karabakh, and 25 versus Thing.
So that's over 400 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I tell you something? Odegaard's played 417, so we can't mention him. We can't talk about him in any way, shape, or form because he's played less minutes in your theory than the likes of Delap.
Okay.
Sorry,
you're not going to.
I hate Chelsea. I don't want to defend Chelsea ever, but I'm going to defend VD here. Odegaard has been shit for 18 months. That's
besides the point. No, I'm asking this season.
A guy that's just come back from injury in a new team.
Oh my god!
It's just a bit.
A new signing. He's playing.
No, I'm not. Hold on. You lot are missing the point I'm making here. I'm not defending Odegaard. You lot are missing the point. I don't care about Odegaard. I'm not defending him. You are using minutes to say that you can't rank a performance of the season for a certain player. I've just said to you, Odegaard has played less minutes over the course of the season, and we are asking how he's been and how he's performing in the season. I'm saying to you, what you thought when you signed him for £30 million over the Man United, because that's what happened. Man United wanted him as well, and you got him over them. You put him at a certain level and said that he's better than Gyökeres and he's going to show that. I'm asking you, for the minutes he's played throughout the course of this season, has he lived up to your expectations? You've given me context of injuries. Odegaard's had 3 injuries. He's hurt his shoulder twice and he's had a knee injury. I'm asking you, with the performances that he's played this season, has he performed to the level you thought? It is a simple yes or no, but you can't give me that. What's wrong with that?
Well, how long's he out for, VD? How long's he out for?
6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, God. Well, I guess we're not going to...
I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. But listen, people, right, it is time to wrap it up. Myself and I think Cass maybe will be over on Coppish in a little while. Cass will be here tonight. People, big game tonight for Man United anyway. Who you got, Cass? Wolves, right. Are we going to see... We can't see a meltdown from Cass, or can we?
We need it. We need the meltdown.
Well,
we need Wolves.
It will be at Wolves as well, isn't it?
I think Odegaard actually might have played more minutes than Thingy, because he played 90 versus Olympiacos. And he already had more minutes. He already had like 50, 60 more minutes.
If I'm wrong, I'm not willing to compare Odegaard to Delap. I'm sorry.
If I'm wrong, no problem. But I'm talking about the level of minutes. The disparity is not that much. So I'm asking you just to rate his performance of what you thought from when he came to where he is now. His performances. Okay. Has he lived up to it? If you think yes, no problem.
It's been below par.
That's all I wanted, VD.
But then it's been below par, but people were overreacting. That's how
I agree.
It's been below par, but people are overreacting.
And I said that. Because I said to you, VD. I don't know if you missed it, VD. I didn't say he's crap.
Making your notes. We'll revisit this in 10 weeks' time. Yeah.
I just want to reiterate before we go. Before we go, VD. I just want to. I didn't say he's crap. I think there's context. As I said, I agree with you. But I just wanted to. I wanted your opinion, because you put him so high, and now he's not performing. There's a lot of context behind it and reasons and excuses. I'm not allowed to give those reasons and excuses why Arsenal lose. Doesn't matter, right? So that's all I'm saying. But I hear you. I'm not trying to get onto you.
Yeah. Love to everyone for joining us. Of course, in the comments, appreciate everyone with the super chats and the comments. Thanks to Lee. Thanks to VD. Thanks to Jay. Thanks to Cal. I think that's everyone. Like I said, we will be back at 7 p.m. for a Man United watch along. Cass will be here. Until then, please go and check out our sponsors, OK Jerseys, for your #1 replica jerseys directly from the factory for £15. Use code NAF.
No, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, use code NAF for a further discount. Until then, we're out, people. I don't know, Lee.
Stop scrolling through those expensive retail sites. Now we all know the pain of needing a fresh kit, but seeing those crazy high prices. Well, there's a smarter way to support your team. Welcome to okjersey.com. The quality speaks for itself. Look at the detail on these designs, whether it's the latest from Man United or a classic Chelsea kit. You can get any jersey in every size you need, and yes, you can fully customize it with your name, your number, or your favorite legends' details, from the Premier League to La Liga to Serie A. If you're looking for it, it's here, and it's always for the best price. Ready to save big? Head to okjersey.com now and use code NAF at checkout. That's code NAF to score an extra